Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Black Clover episode 74. So, we have a tournament arc on the rise. We have a bracket that I put together, and I am going to show you guys. But first off, I am going to be going over this bracket one round at a time all the way to the finale, so this intro to the video is going to be a bit longer. If you don't care about my bracket and you want to jump to me starting this episode, then go to this time here. I'll pop it up, so go ahead and go there if you don't want to see any of the bracket stuff. But yeah, so here we go. I'll be popping up the bracket on the screen for you guys to see as well. I'm looking at it right here. So in the first round, we have Asta's team versus this team that has like Rick, Kartus, and Forty. A lot of these names were super hard to read in the episode. I actually ended up finding the original shot of it from the manga and got all the names there. So some of these might be spelt differently than how they translated them in the anime. So apologies if I have any of the names wrong too. So obviously this first match, I think Asta's team is going to win. Obviously we know that Asta is pretty strong at this point, but we know that Xerx is extremely strong too. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. And he said he's here to make fun of people, so I'm wondering if that's going to be, if he's going to try as hard, you know. And then we have Sol, Magna, and Kirsch versus Zesk, Adrian, and Willie. I don't know Zesk, Adrian, and Willie. I have no idea who they are. So I said Sol, Magna, and Kirsch were gonna win. Some of these were kind of just like the obvious choice because I don't know the other team, so I pick the team that I know, you know. And obviously, I think it would be interesting to see Asta and Magna fight each other since they're in the same group. So, or they're in the same, like, they're in Black Bulls. So it'll be interesting to see them going all out against each other, you know. And then next up we have Finral, Leopold, and Hammond's group versus Bolha, Kyle, and Gaston. Once again, I don't know Bolha, Kyle, and Gaston, so I don't know their team at all. But either way, I want, like, even if I knew the team, I want Finral's team to win because I want to see Finral go up against Langris, which brings me to the next one. Langris, Flagel, and Sek or something versus Gareth, Simon, and Medio. I said Langris' team was going to win. Once again, that second team was another team that I don't know those people, so but I think it would be interesting to see Finral versus Langris, since they obviously Langris looks down on Finral and stuff like that. So I'd like to see how if Finral can surprise Langris at all, you know. And like I know Leopold has a whole rivalry thing going with Asta too. And then we have another team that I don't know either team, so I just kind of went off the sounding of their name. Which is X, Nils, and Ruben versus Laurent, Winsley, and Nix. I said that X, Nils, and Ruben were going to win just because X sounds like a badass name. I don't know who that is that has that name, but it sounds cool, so that's why I picked that, because I don't know who they are. We have Pooley, Luck, and Klaus versus Rob, Francis, and Winston. I went with Pooley, Luck, and Klaus just because, once again, I don't know the other team. And then another team that I didn't know either side, Ben, Brand, and Eric versus Bao, Mark, and Wade. I like Deadpool, and Deadpool's name is Wade Wilson, so I went with Bao, Mark, and Wade as winning, just because I don't know them, so once again, yeah. Then we have Dimitri, Solid, Alec Dora versus N, Noel, and Yuno. I went with and Noelle and Yuno winning because I definitely want to see Noelle with her new strength and everything win against her brother. Like, maybe if it was like the leader, I can't remember his name, but the one that has like the braid coming down, if it was like the captain, I don't think she'd be able to win against that team. But since this is just like another brother that isn't a captain, then I think that Noel is going to surprise him, and I think it's going to be really fun to watch. So that's round 1, guys. Let's pull up the one for round 2 that I have here real fast. At least they're going to get quicker as we go too, right? Alright, so round 2 now, we have Asta, Mimosa, Xerx versus Sol, Magna, and Kirsch. I have Asta winning just because, obviously, seeing Asta move up to the point of potentially fighting Yuno, who's on the other end, would be interesting. This is where I kind of took a turn from something that it's the difference between what I want to happen and what I think will happen in this fight, right? I think Finral will do something to surprise Langris, right? But I think Langris is going to be, like, way more heartless, you know? Like, whereas maybe Finral doesn't want to hurt his brother, I think Langris wouldn't give a shit about hurting his brother. So I think Langris might end up winning because of that and go up against Asta and Mimosa. But I think because of that, I think that's going to give us good opportunity, because Asta and Finral have, like, grown a lot closer to each other due to a lot of the fights they've been in recently. I think that'll give a good moment for Asta to, like, avenge Finral for him. And I think that could make, like, that, like, semi-final, or I guess that's not semi-final. Anyway, the third round to be interesting, or second round. No. That'd be the third round, Asta versus Langris. Anyway. Yeah, so I went with Langris winning, even though I want Finral to beat his brother really bad. I just think that this could be interesting story-wise, with maybe Asta trying to avenge him and stuff like that, because they're going to be watching and stuff like that. So, and then we have X, Nils, and Ruben versus Pooley, Luck, and Klaus. I guess, like, I went with Pooley, Luck, and Klaus just because I don't know X, Nils, and Ruben, but I think it's very possible that X, Nils, and Ruben could win there. Because we don't know them, maybe they will do an upset and not, like, everyone we know will move up, you know? And have one team that we don't know move up. Maybe I should have went with that in my prediction. But I'm going to stick with what I went with first. And say Pooley, Luck, and Klaus we're going to win. And then we have N, Noel, and Yuno against Bo, Mark, and Wade. I went with N, Noel, and Yuno, similar to the last fight. I don't know Bo, Mark, and Wade, so I think maybe Noel might push ahead again. And that might be kind of interesting to see, especially because we have Yuno on that team. Like, I keep thinking of it in terms of Noel, but we have Yuno on that team too, and he's obviously very powerful. So, yeah, that's round 2. Moving on to round 3. Pull that up here. So yeah, in the Asta, Mimosa, Xerx versus Langris, Flagel, and Sec, I think that Asta's going to get revenge on Finral by beating Langris and moving on. So, and then we have Pooley, Luck, and Klaus versus N, Noel, and Yuno. And I think that Yuno and Noel and N will end up winning that. And then I think that we will be going up against this, and, like, it'll be very interesting, and maybe even, like, something where a lot of people are impressed, because, like, all these newbies between Asta, I'm pretty sure Mimosa is a newbie too, right? I could be wrong about Mimosa. But Noel is a like a newbie too, and Yuno's a newbie. So that'd be 4 newbies in the, you know, the final battle. So that was kind of my thought process for that, right? Yeah, I mean, obviously, who knows, these are just my predictions, but let's jump into the finals, which is going to be, obviously, Asta, Mimosa, Xerx versus N, Noel, and Yuno. I have Asta winning it. It was a tough call, honestly. I almost went with Yuno winning, but I think with having Xerx as this mystery character that's shown to be very strong, I think it's possible he could be taking this as a joke in the beginning, but then maybe towards the end, Asta wins him over, And Asta may actually lose out to Yuno during the match, but I think maybe Xerx might come in clutch and, like, win it for them and take all of it, you know? So, yeah, those are my predictions, guys. Hopefully, that took me forever to go through. Sorry about that. But I guess if you guys wanted to skip it, I gave you the time to do it anyway. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode to see how those predictions come out and if they're accurate or not. So yeah, let's get started with this episode, shall we? All right, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh man, I need a sip of water after just non-stop going over all that, actually. 16-person or 16-team bracket is a lot to go through, but I guess that's pretty standard for a tournament, right? Get a little bit of recap. Yes, the guy claiming to be Xerx Lugner. I don't think it was a spoiler, but I noticed that Xerx had a different name in the manga, but it sounded like Xerx. Like, the way it was spelt was very similar. It was just something else. I don't even remember what it was now. But I think it was just the way it was translated. So. It was like, I think the last name was Ruger instead of Lugner, right? I can't remember what the first name was. So like I said, I think it was just the way it was translated to English between the manga and the anime. Alright. Recap done. I have a new camera I bought, guys. I'm very excited, so I've been talking about it in a couple of my videos today. I bought it. I should have everything in a couple days, so hopefully, maybe by the next episode, I might be on that camera. I haven't bought my new lighting yet, so I'm gonna see how it looks with my current lighting with that camera compared to this one. So hopefully it's a lot better. We'll see. The quality of my videos might jump. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. I talked about getting, like, I don't remember if I did it in Black Clover, but I talked about getting a new camera a while ago. Like, I don't remember how long, but I ended up buying it, and I tried to go for a more budget option that had, like, good reviews and stuff, and it ended up looking like crap. So this time I spent a lot on this one, so it should be good. And if it's not good, I think it's mainly because of my lighting. I don't think it's going to be because of the camera, so. Alright, guys. Let's get into this tournament. I'm excited. I wonder how fast we're going to go through these. Like, I wonder how many episodes this is going to span. Either way, I'm excited. Huh. She's still sitting on his lap. It's, like, adorable when she's in her chibi form, but it's also a little bit creepy when it comes to, just talking shit. That's kind of creepy when you think of, her being in... She's older, right? Just sitting on this dude's lap. Is this guy gonna reveal anything? Oh shit! Artillery. Oh, nice. Shit! Yeah, you guys need to get going. Damn, so they have like a sniper. Oh, she can move the crystal? That's nice. I didn't know that. Jesus. Magic scope. Alright. Jeez. Just created a crossbow out of earth and making fire javelins. That's a cool combination. Xerx is asleep. God damn it. Yep. This is what I was worried about, him not taking it seriously right away. But I think maybe he will later on. We'll see. Oh my god. She looks so tiny. Come on, Asta. Asta's gonna have a heart attack. Jesus. You guys need to move instead of just talking to this guy. But he was just talking. Are they gonna aim for him? That'd be interesting if they aimed for him and that got him pissed off or something. Oh, nice. She can scout. I mean, they have been doing combo, but maybe he's adding more to it. Maybe it's going to be a bigger attack this time. Oh. Nice. I think we need her protecting the crystal potentially, and I feel like Asta rushing out might be a oh my god. Might be what we need. Because he's too enraptured in watching his friend. I like how Asta makes it look so easy, even though Mimosa was, like, talking it up. Saying, like, how hard it is to do that. Magic Cannon Flower! She was working on some offensive spells, right? Sealed themselves in. She did it for you, dude! Shit. Alright. She's doing pretty good with that. I wasn't sure what he was talking about. I kind of want to go back to that line. Is that what he really meant? He said, like, that gap is so irresistible. Is that what he said? Is he talking about, like, her, like, thigh gap? I don't know. Maybe he was referring to something else. Not at you. If Yuno wanted to get to her, he should have been like, I'm smiling at Mimosa. She would have been like, eh. Invincible. They have their crystal... Oh, okay, they're faking... Can she tell? Nice. Ultimate spell. Yep, surrounded them. Come on. Oh shit, some kind of trap. What? Oh my god. Well, that's not good. If it's magic, can he hit himself with his own sword and get rid of it? Why did the enemies almost seem surprised at that too? Jeez, okay, maybe not. They're taking advantage of it, if anything. Oh my god, the giant, like, crystal blade. Is Xerx gonna come in? Maybe? Yup, here comes Xerx. Oh my god. Like, the sigils are, like, absorbing the magic. Oh, is it gonna reflect him back? Oh my god. Yeah. He just reflected him straight back. The Wizard King was so excited. Alright, did that take him out, or were they able to dodge it? Alright, they're down. Huh. Just instantly. What about the crystal? Oh, he's still moving a little bit. Damn. Oh, his grimoire looks cool. Just walks on him. Jeez. Jeez. Alright. Ash magic. Oh, I was gonna say, they were shocked. So his magic is what hit Asta, too. Damn. Oh. Never mind. Why are you here? Are we gonna find out so soon? Oh, okay. He's just messing around. Alright. Damn. Hey, they use red lines for the progression too. I didn't know what color to do when I did it, so I was just like, yeah, I'll do red. Oh, I forgot to mention. Shit. I missed last episode. I apologize for that, guys. When I was rewatching it to try to get the names and everything in the order of the bracket. Jeez. Just messing with them. But I noticed they said that the ranking doesn't matter. It matters about how well you perform during it. So even if you come in first, you might not become a Royal Knight. Yeah. Oh my god. This guy. Jeez. Counter trap spell. Oh, double the speed and power. Damn. Jesus. Alright. That's a compliment, Asta. Alright. Yep, they're next. Oh my god, those two. Giant lady. Ah. I didn't think that was a guy. Oh my god. Vermilion. Yeah, that's Mimosa's family? Older brother. Ah. When we briefly saw him last episode, I thought that was a chick. Asta. Oh my god. Is that it? It is. Damn. Alright. But yeah, I guess last episode, when, I missed it while reacting, and then I talked about it in, like, the discussion of how I said, like, I think that Asta is going to progress pretty far because I think he's going to become a royal knight or whatever. And then, I also said, like, I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, first place is probably going to be it, and then second and third if they're going to take more, you know? So I was obviously wrong and mistaken, so I wanted to correct myself. I meant to do it in the beginning, but doing the whole bracket thing just made me forget. And I remembered in the middle of the episode, or towards the end actually, that that they said that it wasn't scored based off how far you make it. It's scored off how you do. So, I mean, so far we're not off at a good start for Asta then, because obviously his team won, but unfortunately Asta fell into a trap, and up until that point all he really did was run alongside the help of Mimosa, who was finding them. So, like, Mimosa did good with the tracking and, you know, taking control, coming up with the plan and everything. Obviously Xerx did good because he set up that whole trap that, like, worked magnificently, but unfortunately Asta did literally nothing. So I guess he deflected some of the spells while they were running, right? Which was a feat in itself, you know. But yeah, that's the end of episode 74, guys. Yeah, it was good. It took the whole episode. I will say, like, the fight was maybe a little bit lackluster in terms of, like, epicness, but it's also only the first round. I think it's going to get a lot more crazier and fun in, like, the later rounds, you know? Because it was mainly, like, them staying back and, like, I love seeing Asta do stuff, and he didn't really get to do anything here. But we got to see Xerx do stuff, which is cool, because we didn't get to see what he could do. Like, it cut from him, like, starting to fight the real Xerx Lugner in the last episode, and then cut to just showing him all bloody against the wall, you know? So we learned what Xerx's ability is. He can create these magic circle traps that he can imbue different conditions into. Now, is that to say that he can do, like, whatever, or does he have, like, I mean, I'm sure he has, like, a set limit of conditions, right? It reminds me a little bit of the, I can't remember what it's called, but one of the characters in Fairy Tail had an ability where he could set traps and he could set whatever conditions inside them. So if, like, you stepped in one of them, there could be, like, no oxygen while you're inside it, or whatever, you know? And just straight up, like, kill you unless you can somehow break out, you know? But yeah, I don't know if it can be, like, that specific and stuff like that, because he created one that did whatever it did to Asta, and then he created another one, so it's not just always the same thing, you know? And theoretically, like, he could have done the one that was in his collar too. He called that a trap in his collar, but maybe it wasn't really maybe it wasn't really like an actual magic thing, or it could have been, you know. But yeah, so the counter magic trap or whatever it was called, or counter spell trap, whatever it was, can absorb an effect and reflect it back at like twice as fast and twice as powerful. That's pretty crazy. So, like the narrator said, the more powerful the attack it's used on, the more it's going to reflect back, and it attacks quicker. So, like, even if they have a good idea of how fast their own attack moves, they're going to be caught off guard by the speed of it too if they don't know about that ability. So, yeah, Xerx ended up, even though he fell asleep and messed around at the beginning, he still ended up coming out and essentially winning it for... Well, I'm not going to say that Asta wouldn't have won it, because Xerx is the one that hindered Asta, you know? It's possible Asta could have, like, done something to stop those three attacks coming at him. Like, maybe he could have jumped away from the trajectory of one of them coming and sliced through, like, head towards one of them and slice through it, and then the other two collide behind him, you know? Kind of thing. And then maybe he could have, like, dashed in, because we didn't even see him do that, like, where his legs get all veiny and he, like, kicks off and goes really fast, you know? So I think he still could have closed the gap and got in if he didn't hit that trap, and maybe they still could have won if it wasn't for Xerx's trap. So I'm not going to say that Xerx is, like, the MVP, because obviously he hindered his own team in order to win. Like, I could see, just because of that, I could see Xerx not getting picked. Like, I mentioned how Xerx did good, you know, here. He did good showing off his magic in terms of its strength, but he's showing that he's not a team player, which I don't think he really cares about becoming a Royal Knight. Like he said, he's just here to make fun of people. So, I think, like the king mentioned, like, Xerx is a good candidate, but I actually think this here shows that he's not a good candidate, because if he can't work with a team, what's the point of putting together this, like, elite squad if one of the members isn't going to work together with the rest of them and is going to sabotage them and stuff like that? So, we'll see. But, we also got to see how the rest of this goes. Now that I think about it, I mentioned in the last episode how seeing the ending, maybe, of Mimosa, Asta, and Xerx being together warped my perspective on him, thinking he was gonna be, like, a good guy or whatever. I think there might have been a small part of me that thought maybe, like, that shot of them was because they were together because they got selected as Royal Knights. But now that I think about it, this ending could just be for this tournament arc, and it might not even matter past it for the Royal Knight stuff. So, I don't know that I ever actually said that I think that they're all going to become Royal Knights, but either way. Understanding better about the tournament and stuff now, who knows who it could be. Like, hell, someone who showed good promise in the first round could potentially be a Royal Knight. So who knows? And someone who won it all might not be. You know, like Xerx might not be because he doesn't work together with teams, even if he is the one to win it all. But yeah, first fight in the bracket didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go, but still ended up the same result with Asta's team winning. It would have been really anticlimactic if Asta's team lost here, so I wasn't, even though their crystal was getting, like, bopped right at the beginning, I still wasn't too worried for them, just because, like, like, My Hero Academia did it where Midoriya got out first, but I feel like a lot of the other My Hero Academia characters have a lot more depth to them, whereas a lot of the characters here don't. So I feel like if Asta got, like, don't get me wrong, there are a good handful of characters that have good depth to it, and I do enjoy. But I just think that it would have been a little more boring for the show if he was out first, you know? Whereas I kind of enjoyed, like, I wasn't mad about it. Well, I guess Midoriya didn't get out in the first round, he got out in the second round, but either way. But, like, a lot of the other characters are still strong enough in My Hero that I was okay with it, you know? Whereas here, I kind of want to see Asta at least make it, like, through the... Like, I want to see Asta do good, right? I want to see, like... If he got out after just being hit by a trap here, I would have been really disappointed. But yeah. So I would like to see him at least give it a good fight and him really, like, go in and do something other than just deflecting spells, you know? So, yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how his team handles this, but... Oh, excuse me. I also wonder... We spent the entire episode on Asta's fight, which is kind of typical for anime to do an entire episode for the main character's fight, and now I bet, watch, we're gonna blast through, like... I bet we're gonna blast through at least, like, 6 or 7 of the battles next episode, possibly. Especially ones, like, if I pull up this chart real fast again, like, some of the ones that we don't know, like this next one, Sol and Magna and Kirsch versus Zesk, Adrian, and Willy. I think maybe they could blow through it fast since we don't know the other team. Same with Finral. We don't know his other team he's going up against. And Langris's team. We could see them just, like, rapid fire off them winning, you know? Really, I think all of them... I think all the other fights, actually, up to the one with, and Noel and Yuno versus Dimitri, Solid, and Alekdora. I think we could see all of them up to those go pretty quickly, and then I think we're going to see the Noel fight unfold, because obviously that's a pretty big moment for Noel going up against her brother. You know, she has something to prove. So, yeah, I could almost see us going all the way up to Noel's fight at the end of the next episode, and then the episode after getting Noel's fight. But, yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Like, I also wouldn't mind seeing more of the fights, because I do like seeing the clever uses of, like, the characters' powers, you know? And, like, some of those fights we have 2 teams going up against each other that I have no idea what any of their abilities are, so we'd be, like, learning all this, you know, new magic that they do. But yeah, and seeing how they use it, like, I really liked how the enemy team used it here, where, like, the rock guy made a catapult thing, or not a catapult, it's a, like a, what is that thing called? Not a catapult, not a trebuchet, it's a ballista, there we go. He made, like, a ballista out of rock, and then the other guy was able to make, like, fire javelins that they fired out while they had their other guys scouting. I liked how they all were able to combine their shit and work together in order to fight. It's always cool whenever you see characters, like, utilize their abilities together in harmony, you know? But yeah, Asta's team won, they're moving on, and the next fight is about to start, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to get into the higher rounds, but I am excited to see how a lot of these fights turn out, especially because I think I'm more invested in the results since I made a bracket, you know? Whereas if I didn't make a bracket, I'd be like, oh, I guess that's who won, you know? But yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to be it from me, I think. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you did. Also, check out my Patreon if you want to get access to a couple episodes ahead of time. You can do so on there, as well as my Patreon exclusives, where I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen, Black Sails, and Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2. Check that stuff out if you're interested. The link should be popping up on the screen, or it's in the description, or you can go to patreon.com/Morthadon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.